Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to make a Sakura from Naruto build in Baldur's Gate 3. So this guide is going to be all the way through with starting with the monk. Now it's going to be a mixture of monk and cleric. Now what I've experimented with this build for many hours and I think the strongest, and there's a very lore accurate Naruto build that I'll also show you. So for our starting stats, we're just going to obviously start with the monk. We're going to dump our strength. We're going to go with dexterity at 17, constitution at 15, and wisdom at 16. You can also, if you want to, you can move the stats around a little bit depending on if you're the face of the party. Sometimes a bit more charisma is helpful there, but you ideally want to have your wisdom as high as possible and dexterity pretty high as well. It's going to help out with your armor class. So somewhere around there. Now we're going to go into taking our feats, or taking our level up here. There's a certain way we can build this. Now at level 2 it just gives us another chi point and then patient defense, dash, and disengage. But at level 3 we got a very important decision to make. So the strongest version of the monk is the way of the open hand. This gives us many ways to deal damage and it's just an overall powerhouse. I think it's the best monk build. But the way of the shadow is the true Naruto way. So you got your little bridge here. You can either go with a strong, powerful class, or we're going to go just with the Naruto class. So the way of the shadow gives us the shadow art hide. It also gives us a cantrip minor illusion. But later on, it'll also give us the ability to warp to any shadow in the area and use this as a bonus action, which will also give us advantage on attack rolls. So it can have a benefit of giving you you teleport. Advantage on attack roll will mean you're more likely to hit your next target, so it is kind of nice. But way of the open hand allows you to attack really hard, and Sakura, I mean, in Naruto she is kind of known for being like, you know, big fist, beat people up. So way of the shadow or open hand, I'm going with the way of the open hand because we just get a whole lot more from this. So we can deflect missiles at that turn, but we also get the flurry of blows topple, which is a bonus action that can knock an enemy prone, which is extremely useful. We also have the stagger, which can stagger a target, making them not be able to take reactions, which for some bosses is very useful. And then flurry of blows push is also, you know, very useful. Eldritch Blast for its pushback is really nice, but being able to do it as a monk is nice. So we get another chi point here, we get our first feat. So with that, we're going to take our wisdom up to 18. Wisdom is really our main stat. Every 2 points of wisdom, we're going to get another armor class, which makes it a lot easier to survive. At level 5 here, we do get the extra attack, so now we're able to attack a lot more frequently, and we also get the ability to stun a target, which can be nice at times if you don't want to take out a target lethally. We have the key Empowered Strike, so this is really nice because if you're attacking someone and they have physical resistance, this is going to ignore that resistance and treat it as if it was magic damage, so that we'll be able to just hit harder and it just automatically turns on. So anytime you attack someone that's resistant to magic, you just deal more damage. And then we also get the subclass features Manifestation of Body, so you can have your unarmed attacks dealing 5 to 8, either necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage. And then we also get Hold as a Body. You regain half our chi points, which is nice to have, and where you regain chi points have an extra bonus action. So more punches with our bonus action, top flurry of blows. You can get a lot of attacks off with this. So we're also going to get evasion here, which gives us the ability to take half damage from a spell. And on a successful saving throw for dexterity, we can avoid it altogether. So anytime we're getting a hit with magic attacks, we're going to be much more likely to avoid it. And if we get Charmed or Frightened, we can use Stillness of Mind to remove that if we have it available. So sometimes it's nice just to hold on to your Stillness of Mind and wait for the level. So at level 8 we get another feat. Now there's a couple ways we can go about doing this. We can take our dexterity up, which is going to give us another armor class as well as another initiative point, and then also some more damage. We can also take our wisdom up to 20, and then there's the third option here. So this is coming out of nowhere, but Tavern Brawler works incredibly well. You can take your constitution up to get more health, but what's nice about Tavern Brawler is when you make an unarmed attack, your strength modifier is added twice to the damage and attack rolls, so it gets quite strong with this. I'm a big fan of taking Tavern Brawler because if we're going to be attacking, we want to have big numbers and we want to be hitting. Getting a plus, we don't have a very nice strength modifier right now, but there is strength gauntlets in the game. There's many strength potions. If you don't like using strength potions, take the wisdom ability and score improvement, but this can be very powerful because we're going to be hitting harder because with a strength potion at 27, that gives us +8 to our strength checks. So it's a +16 because it's added twice to our attack rolls and damage rolls. Some people don't like the Tavern Brawler, but Tavern Brawler is very, very strong. So that's what I'm taking there. And at monk level 9 here, we can go, and I like to go at least level 9 because we get the key resonation punch, and bonus action, and then the key resonation blast. So if we hit someone with the key resonation punch, that's just an attack, and then you resonate your chi with theirs. And then you can use the blast as just a key point. You don't need an action. You don't need a bonus action. This is what makes the monk really powerful. So I like going all the way there. Now, you can add in the cleric at level 9. At level, I guess, yeah, for level 10, you can add in the cleric if you'd like. I think it's nice to go a little bit further, get the movement speed increased by 6 meters, and then immunity to poison from this level here. And then I think that it's best to go into the cleric. But we can go, I'll show you, you'll get extra spells from this. So take our cantrips. I like to go with guidance, resistance, and sacred flame. We're going to go with the life domain because she's supposed to be a healer. Makes sense. Selune is our god. And then for our spells, Guiding Bolt's just a nice one to have. Shield of Faith is a decent concentration to keep. Inflict Wounds can be decent, but you're better off just punching than using Inflict Wounds. So I like Command. Healing Word, bonus action heal. If a teammate goes down, you can bring them up with that. And Sanctuary is nice to have, but also Create Water is another good option if you don't want to take one of those. There's a lot you can do with the Cleric, so we're going to prepare our spells here and add, I like just Create Water for, if you have a lightning team, like if you got a Kakashi on your team, it makes a difference. Now at level 3 Cleric, we do get level 2 spells, and I think that Spiritual Weapon is very underrated. Having another ally there to take hits is super useful. And then also you can take off whatever you find you're not concentrating on, and Hold Person is very nice to have as well. And this is going to be using your Wisdom modifier, so it would have been nice if we could only take 8 levels of Monk, but it's just too good to get the Key Resonation because it works very well alongside this build. But now what we're looking at for our build here, we have an armor class of 18, but if we take the Vest of Soul Rejuvenation, that can really bump it up to 20. If we were to get another feat, we could take our armor class up to 19, or to 21, which would have been nice. And you can also, if you got the Amulet of Greater Health, sometimes it's nice to add a level of Barbarian to get the unarmored defense there. But the Wisdom one will take priority as we're starting as the Monk one will take priority. So we can get some decent armor class here. If you got the cloak that gives you increased armor class, we can take this up 1, 2, 3 points. So that can be nice. But I like the Shade Slayer cloak or the Cloak of Displacement, which gives enemies disadvantage on attack rolls. So it kind of fits that Naruto style of not getting hit like a ninja. And then we want to take the Gloves of Soul Rejuvenation, which will give us an increase to our Constitution if we're not using the Constitution Amulet. I do think it's nice to take Amulet of Restoration just for some extra heals, because we don't got a lot of spell slots, and if we want to heal, it's not many people can make use of that, so it can be pretty useful there. So the main thing we want to do in combat is we want to get in close. We do have a good amount of movement speed because of our because we got all the unarmed movement and all that from the Monk class, but we want to get in. Ideally, you would use something like, if you start with this, like usually coming into a battle, you're gonna have two bonus actions. You would start with something like the Key Resonation Punch, which deals a good amount of damage there, and then you're gonna do our top Flurry of Blows and knock it prone, or any other one of these as a bonus action with a key point. And then we also got the ability to do the Key Resonation Blast, which just uses a key point. It's very, very powerful. So we also do have healing. It's not the most effective healing, but in Baldur's Gate 3, I'll be honest, you don't want to heal too often because it doesn't do as much as dealing damage would. That's why I said there's 2 ways you can go about doing this build, because the way of the Open Hand Monk is very powerful. And then if we take ourselves a Strength Potion, we get a incredible amount of damage. So I got 12 of them there. They're not too hard to get. Set your strength to 27. So we just popped a Cloud Giant, and now we have 27 strength. Dexterity's at 18. If we have the Dexterity Gauntlets, you can dump your Dexterity. Constitution and Wisdom both at 18, and it looks pretty good with a 20 armor class. And we could also swap that out to get 21 if you wanted to, but I do like the Gloves of Soul Catching for the extra damage you get. 1 to 10 force damage is very powerful. When using the Strength Potion, you get upwards of 36 to 68 damage because we get to attack twice with this, and with the Soul Catching Gloves, we get that plus 1d10 force damage on both attacks, making this a very powerful build overall. And yeah, the Strength Potions do make quite a difference if you can use them. If you don't want to, that's understandable, but it makes it very powerful. So there it is. That is a Sakura from Naruto build guide for Baldur's Gate 3. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next video.